I'm slipping away, so don't let me go now.
Hello everybody, my name is Anita. Welcome back to this channel. For the new subscribers, for the returning subscribers, karibuni sana. Thank you so much for tuning in again. Today we are going to talk about SGBV and how it affects persons with disability. And I have a very beautiful lady here. I'll let her introduce herself.
Hi everyone, so I'm Liz. Anita is a good friend of mine from way back, and I'm a student. I'm taking gender and development studies, which makes me interested in cases to do with like persons who are a bit more vulnerable in the society. And then I heard about Anita's topic of discussion for today, and I was so interested in it, and I got to persuade her to let me get involved in it, and voila, she agreed and I'm here.
Actually, I'm the one who persuaded you because I wanted to talk about this, and Liz has visual challenges, visual impairment, so she was a perfect candidate to interview. So maybe Liz, let's talk about your visual challenges, visual impairment. When did it begin, or were you born with this?
So first, I was not born with visual impairment. I just had nice vision all the way to 2010. So in 2010, around I can say like most of 2010 I had challenges with my eyesight, of which you just go to the hospital, you get checked and you get some medication and you move on. But then it reached a time like almost in August. So in August I started having very serious migraines and on and off hospital medication, very strong medication. I think I was put on steroids, which were very strong, and my body ended up reacting to them. My optic nerves at the end of the day got kind of failed. And so basically.
Wow, and this was in year 2010.
2010,
Yeah, and I have to add, this was the year we were also at the university, very young and doing
she was my classmate.
I was yeah, we were classmates. We were just doing our first the bachelor's degree, and then suddenly Liz disappeared. She wasn't coming to school, and then she lost her eyesight, so it was a really big challenge at the time because she had to stop her studies. And Liz is a very determined lady. She went and learned Braille. You did, right?
I'm learning.
Did you learn Braille?
I know.
You didn't learn Braille? Why was I thinking you learned Braille? What did you learn?
I'm using I use normal, but then for computers I use what is called NVDA.
Yes, that is what she learned.
I use NVDA for the comp.
What is NVDA?
So for the NVDA, just use my comp the way I used to use it, computer the way I used to use it. But that was the difference is that when I press a key, the NVDA talks back. Like it's D, and you have to go for some like training, because you can imagine you're typing, you can't see anything. You have to know how to go about the keyboard. So that's what I learned here.
Wow, I've learned something new.
Yeah, it's not the traditional way that you have to. People assume you're going to school, you can't see, so you've done Braille.
Yeah.
That's traditional, kabisa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting. And I was just saying this because after many years, Liz actually went back to school and she finished her bachelor's degree, and now she's enrolled for her master's degree. So no human is limited. Yeah, you can actually do anything in life. Anyway, I digress. So we're talking about SGBV. Liz, could you tell us how, in your own opinion, how you think SGBV, do you think it affects persons with disability?
Good question.
Yeah.
Most people don't even imagine those two can be related.
Yeah.
Because I'm in class most of the times, and I even had a lecturer saying that she was like, I'm so sure persons living with disability have no clue of what sexual abuse is. And then she's like, Elizabeth, are you alright? I had to say, are you alright? We can't oppose a teacher because that's what is assumed.
What?
They have, it's like they have no clue.
Are you serious? This was coming from what? A
A lecturer, my current lecturer.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I'm shocked.
So you just have to agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, but people don't think those two are related. But there's a lot of SGBV going around that is affecting persons living with disability a lot. It's a very sad scenario that if people knew, oh my. I got to know this recently also.
Wow, could you tell us more?
Yeah, of course. So now, apparently, I don't know how, but when I went back to school, my closest companion, let me say companion, was a lady, let me say she used to fight for the rights of persons living with disability. So she would have, she would have so many people coming to her. I would hear of cases of persons without limbs who are raped within the school and they get pregnant and mostly they're underweight, so they get to lose the pregnancy. You know, you're also kind of discriminated, so you don't feel comfortable going for checkups at the hospital.
Wow.
So I would hear of persons persons on wheelchair, you're physically handicapped, you call it a PH. So yeah, you're in your room, you're in a wheelchair, then maybe you forgot to lock your room well, and somebody just enters. Or sometimes the person who escorted you, you don't have an automatic wheelchair, someone pushed you into the room. Yeah. This person ends up abusing you.
Oh my God.
You hear of hostels, you have special hostels, like you're in a hostel and you're showering. For instance, you're now visually impaired and you're in a hostel, you're showering and someone just comes into the washroom and taps, or you entered the touches you, that is, or you entered the washroom and you didn't see that there was someone else who was already inside there, probably a man. Yeah, so you get abused, people are raped.
Wow, Liz, I don't know how to react. I don't know how to react to this. I have to ask you, are there stories that you've heard from other people? Have you personally experienced?
Oh, okay, so for a long time, there were just stories I was hearing from people. But the last semester that I was in school, actually got to experience one.
Oh my gosh.
I got to experience.
Wow.
Yeah, there are actually things that are happening. Let me tell you.
Wow, are you comfortable maybe telling us what happened? If you're not comfortable, it's okay.
I'll just edit. Because it's not really a simple thing. You know, when you hear it in a story, it's so simple. But when you go through it, like you're the one who's in the story, you're like the main character. It's another story, it's another level, yeah? Yeah. Let me just say this. I went to the washroom very early because I had an early class, and then just like in the washroom, and there are a few people there, and you like enter, like for persons with disability, PWDs, you have your own washroom. You don't use washrooms the same as other people. So you're going to confidently into this washroom because there's no one inside. In fact, you've asked the people because you guys know each other, and you've asked around and like everyone has showered or no one is in the shower. So you go into the washroom and you knock, no one is open, and you knock. This is not normal. So you decide to use the other bathrooms that the other people use, and then you just enter. And then you shower. But when you're almost done, this person just like hits you.
What?
And you're shocked, and you can't tell who it was. So first of all, you're like, who's this? What kind of a game is this?
Yeah, because you're not able to see them.
I know, first of all, you assume it's just one of the ladies.
Yeah.
And you're like, what kind of a game is this?
Yeah.
I'm not interested in this game at this time. You know?
Yeah.
And then you get down with your showering and you get out and you're like asking, you're like angry. Who's this doing this? And then no one is talking. And then like in a few, like you see that there's people see this gentleman running out of the washroom.
What?
And he goes out and nobody knows where he goes to, And you're left freaked out, like totally freaked out, and you go tell this person. This person is like, I'm not sure. No. First of all, the one person who saw the guy is like, it was a gentleman. It was a guy. It was a guy in shorts, and so you go like to the authority. You tell them, but there was a man inside our washroom. And the way they take it is so irritating. And the first thing they ask you is like, describe the person.
Guys, isn't this ridiculous? Someone does this to her and she's asked to describe the person.
Describe the person. Describe the way the person
How are
looked
you
like.
supposed to know how the person looked like? These are the kind of questions when you go report. You sometimes when maybe somebody reports like harassment or something, especially sometimes when you go to the police, and sometimes they ask you stupid questions, like they will ask, what were you wearing? What has that got to do? What is the relationship?
I don't get it. I mean, they even came to my room.
How are you supposed to know? It's supposed to give you security. How crazy is that? How crazy? And then what happened?
It's the first time, you tell them, they ask you for the description of the person. Oh my God, I don't know. So you're told, until you give us the description of the person that was involved, that was in your washroom, there's not much that we can do.
Are you serious?
There's not much that we can do.
Guys, is anyone else shocked like me? Because I'm so shocked right now. I don't know what to say.
And this is a lady who is like, I don't know, she could
You're
be
in a
older than my
vulnerable
mother.
position, and you report it to a lady.
Yeah.
Someone who should even understand. And is there in the school, is there maybe someone who maybe specialized in dealing with such kind of cases?
Okay, people don't even talk about it, so like,
because they know maybe they won't get help or what?
That's usually the perception people have. No one will help.
Yeah.
But so like, okay, for instance, me, I was in I was just doing my first year in the master's program. So of course I don't even know what structures are there for reporting.
Exactly.
So, but I have friends, friends who are in the leadership. So you call them, you're like, help me, where do I go, which authority do I go to? They're like, the highest authority is this one, and she's a lady, I'm so sure she'll understand. They take you there, and that's what you're told. And in fact, the ladies were the one who kept calling them, because they kept acting like they forget. It's not a big issue. As in, what happened to you? You just touched.
What? What?
So they don't take it that seriously,
Oh my gosh, this is something really serious. Liz, in your opinion, what should be done? What should, like in the school, what measures should they put in place, to like ensure that, persons with disabilities are protected from these kind of things? Because it's ridiculous to ask somebody who is visually impaired to describe someone who just harassed her.
The first thing that I'm thinking should be done, okay, already they have the structures, but it's not implemented. Like in our school, we already have the gender office. So the structures are there. But now, how to implement, the rules are there, how to implement these rules. We need someone who actually, I don't know, because these people who are making these rules are people who are they don't have a clue, they just know these rules should be made. But you get someone who's actually going through it. Get someone to represent PWDs inside these committees that come up with these rules, you know. Like in the gender office, actually have persons with disability in this gender office.
Inclusivity.
Yeah, inclusivity, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what's lacking. You know, we teach it, sorry.
Yeah.
We say it, we preach it, but we don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. Like, the lecturer I'm talking about teaches gender. And you
Are you serious?
yeah.
What?
But at the end of the day, I was rescued by a lecturer from the same department anyway. But you know, a lecturer from the gender department asks you, let's just move on. I don't think persons with disability actually face sexual harassment. Let's go to the next topic.
That is the most hurtful thing you can ever tell someone.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's lack of exposure.
Yeah.
Lack of knowledge is there, but lack of exposure and lack of inclusivity. You know.
Guys, imagine having a problem and you go to an authority that is supposed to help you, and they tell you, you know what? I don't think you can experience this problem. It's not possible.
It's not.
And it's not a big issue, so it's okay. Let's just move on.
You just lock your room.
Just lock your room and move on.
You know, there should be awareness of people, or people should be able to know that besides the world you live in, there's another world someone else lives in. And as much as your world is real to you, to the other person, the world is also real to them. And the kind of challenges you face are so unique to hers or the other person's. They're different. You should learn to appreciate everyone's unique challenges. So now you go to this office and report. They cannot get themselves to understand that what you're facing is also a challenge in itself.
Yeah.
And just because they have not faced it or they're not facing it does not mean that it's not a challenge that exists.
So they need to put themselves in also your shoes. If you have perfectly working eyes, like me here, I should also understand that my friend Liz here also has her own challenges, and I should put myself in her shoes and realize that she also needs assistance in her own way, because her challenges are unique to her. And probably if I just don't stop to think carefully and just look at it carefully, I'll not understand what she's going through. Right. What else do you think should be done?
I think the basic thing is just the inclusivity.
Yeah.
But besides the inclusivity, you know, education. You know, people should know, like, I'm in a school where there's so many PWDs, but there's also a great population of people who don't even know what to do. I mean, if I come to you, I tell you, my phone, I need you to help me put back the talk back. You're like, I don't even know what that is. You go ask someone else, like, how am I supposed to? I managed to reach you. Help me. If you can't help me, take me to someone who can help me. You know, like some education to know how to live, to coexist to some extent.
It's so ridiculous to hear someone saying persons with disability don't experience SGBV, like it's non-existent. It's actually very stupid to say.
And you know, another thing is that it's persons with disability, to some extent, they have like kind of accepted that they are not accepted, you know. So, like, for instance, when I went to report, it was taken lightly. And I'm thinking this will happen in other authorities besides school. So, if someone came and abused me, why should I go and report it?
Yeah.
What action will be taken? If anything, it will be used against me. You know, why were you not careful? You know, why did you see who the person? Why did you see the person who was doing that to you? You know?
Yeah.
So there should be a lot of education, a lot of exposure.
Guys, we should, and this is what I've been talking about for the past few weeks, I guess. There should be education. We need to tell people what really happens. We need to be very open and discuss these things openly. People are so different. Me and Liz here are very different. We experience our challenges differently. So it's up to us actually to understand what each of us is going through, and we should offer assistance equally. There should be inclusivity. Yeah, you know, when maybe appointing people in offices, we should include even persons with disability there, because they know the challenges they go through, they know what happens, yeah, and they can contribute to decision making and stuff like that.
You know, I can tell you an interesting story, very sad but interesting. This friend of mine that I got to make when I went back to school, like I said, she was kind of like an activist, and she had visual impairment at that point, at that time, but it was not total. It was not total vision loss, and then in the long run it became total vision loss. So now she got involved in a relationship and got pregnant. But because she was visually impaired, you know, you'd go to the hospital, especially within the school, you'd be kind of discriminated against a lot. So I also didn't know at some point, just, you know, she kind of like aborted the kid.
What?
Just aborted. You'd rather just, I imagine, just aborted, which was very dangerous. She ended up being sick for a long, bedridden for a long time. You know, because you can't like go get attention the way others get.
And it's really sad that you know, even when you want to go to hospital, you know, they don't give you the same treatment, the same attention that you deserve. You know, it's just
for persons with disabilities, more of you want to be feeling sorry for them.
Yeah.
You want to like I don't know, hide them somewhere.
Yeah.
Or you don't like know they have like this life. They also have this life that they're living.
They also have the life that they're living, and they need assistance.
And assistance, yeah.
Yeah.
Not to be taken advantage of, but just assistance.
Yeah.
You don't drive me to my room and then you enter when I don't know.
Exactly.
And now you want to do things and I can't scream, you know.
Wow.
But then that happens.
Wow.
That happens.
Wow. What?
It happens. I don't know. I didn't mention that.
You didn't.
Someone
You know, I'm actually getting shocked because even personally, I have to say that I know that it happens also to persons with disability. I've just never thought of it
exactly.
to this extent. You know, like someone would need assistance to go change, and then someone takes advantage of that and gets in the room with her.
Yeah. I have a friend who was raped by her physiotherapist.
What?
Yeah. She's a PH. She's physically handicapped, so she can't walk. And a physiotherapy would come to her house and like help her do those exercises for her feet. And this day now the parents left her because now they trusted the physiotherapist. So now when they left her and she was lying on the bed, and the guy just abused her. But now how would you go say? Because it's a church thing, you know, the parents are from church, the physiotherapist is a friend from church, you know, what do you do? Who will believe her? You know.
Wow, Liz, thank you so much for your time. Guys, I would just like us to have these conversations going. Let us talk about SGBV. Let us talk about persons with disability, how SGBV affects them. We also need to think about them. So let's think about them. Thank you so much for this information. I wish we could have more time, but I don't want this video to be too long. Yeah, but thank you so much. What I'd ask guys is to please, let's have these conversations. Let's keep talking about them. Let's talk about change. Let's see what changes we can make within ourselves, and then also spread it to the community. Thank you so much, Liz. And thank you so much, guys, for watching. And till next time, bye.